Last Christmas, Buffalo looked like the North Pole. This year, Santa wore shorts. A few flakes finally fell last week, smashing a 116-year record for the longest streak with no snow. Ho, ho, ho! In cities up and down the East Coast, Christmas Eve was the warmest ever. It felt like summer in the Big Apple, with temperatures in the 70s.
Where's the nearest beach?
Oh, this is awesome. Being able to see 70-degree weather in New York City on Christmas Eve, it's something really cool to experience.
One of many record highs that could be set from the Great
Here in
Lakes.
Oregon, record-shattering rain.
This month's wacky warm weather has broken more than 1,000 records from coast to coast.
This December has been exceptional for a lot of areas of the country. You look into the Northwest, where the rain and snow has been nonstop. You look into the Northeast, Mid-Atlantic, the Upper Midwest, winter completely on pause, and temperatures that are so far above average, they'll be smashing records before we're done.
Eric, what's in store?
Eric Fisher is chief meteorologist for CBS station WBZ-TV in Boston.
To me, this is the most staggering thing. In the Boston area, we're going to see the coldest winter month ever recorded and the warmest winter month ever recorded in the same year, in 144 years of records.
Take a look. Essentially, the nation's weather map is divided in half. In many eastern cities, temperatures are as high as 30 degrees above normal. Out west, it's colder and wetter than it's been in years. 2 weeks ago, dangerous floods in Oregon swallowed homes and prompted terrifying rescue missions. Scientists say what's behind this weather madness, in part, is a phenomenon that goes back millennia. You've heard its name, El Nino.
El Nino is about a year-long warming that takes place along the equator in the eastern half of the tropical Pacific. And it's related to changes in the trade winds. They also are weaker when that ocean warms up. And this is from the coast of South America all the way out into the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Nate Mantua is a climate scientist with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration in Santa Cruz, California. This rain, when's the last time you saw this rain?
You know, we've had very little of this in the last 4 years.
4 years.
But
Mantua has been studying the effects of El Nino for 30 years. Every 4 to 7 years, he says, those Pacific trade winds weaken.
And when that happens, there's a massive shift in rainfall patterns in the tropics. So wet places tend up being really dry, and normally dry places end up getting lots of rainfall.
And this El Nino, how significant or intense is it?
The current El Nino is among the 3 strongest since 1950 at least.
So strong, the effects of this El Nino can be seen on every weather forecaster's radar the world over.
This warm pattern, which is not only at the surface as we're showing here, but actually is over a depth of the Pacific Ocean, provides a tremendous amount of heat capacity to drive the whole circulation pattern, not only across the United States, but around the globe.
Louis Uccellini is the director of the National Weather Service. He says El Nino causes the temperature of the Pacific Ocean to increase up to 10 degrees and triggers a ripple effect across the globe.
So simplistically, wetter than usual over here, warmer than usual over here.
Yes, wetter than normal in here. And as we see the El Nino pattern develop, we should see a more active storm track along the south, so wetter and warmer up in this area here.
And as if right on cue, over the last 5 days, killer tornadoes swept across the South, killing more than 20 people from Texas to Tennessee.
The house is gone.
Yes.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to try to rebuild.
Here? Mm-hmm. So what to you is worrisome about all this?
There are parts of the globe that are impacted by El Nino that do suffer from those impacts. Increased drying in Brazil and Indonesia with the possibility of forest fires. Increased precipitation over Africa, Central Africa to East Africa, which lends itself to the increased likelihood of disease outbreaks like malaria and dengue fever.
But can these alarming weather events also be blamed on climate change? Scientists say not so fast.
Maybe climate change adds a couple more warmer days or makes the warmest temperatures a little bit warmer. I don't think you can just say that because it's a warming world, we're seeing a record warm December. We might be enhancing the normal pattern that would have happened anyway by a little bit.
In California, oceans that were already warming are getting even hotter. And that has created a crisis for the creatures who live in it.
2015 has been one for the record books. You know, typically we rescue 600 to 800 animals. We're almost at 1,800.
Sean Johnson directs the Marine Mammal Center in Sausalito. He says that in the past 2 years, 90% of California's sea lion and fur seal pups have died.
Give me a sense of what is going on out in their natural habitats that has brought about this crisis.
And because this water is so warm, it's pushed all the feeder fish, the foraging fish for their mothers, farther out to sea, deeper in the water column or farther north. What it's come down to is all the animals have a lack of food. There's not enough food right in this area for them right now.
Relief will come eventually, because historically, El Nino is followed by La Nina, characterized by cooler ocean temperatures. But at least for the next few months, the world will continue to feel El Nino's effects, both on land and in the ocean.